100 people go blind in the UK each and every day, with about 5,000 people owning a guide dog up and down the country. In this mini documentary, we find out what life is like training the dogs that so many people depend on. We investigate the abuse and discrimination that guide dogs and their owners face on a daily basis. And how owning man's best friend can change a person's life for the better.
To be honest, if I didn't have him, I don't know where I'd be today.
This is life from another perspective. When we think of guide dogs, our first thought isn't discrimination, refusal or abuse, but maybe it should. 7 out of 10 guide dog owners have been turned away by a service provider at some point due to having an assistance dog. This is against the law.
We decided to go to a Chinese restaurant, and we'd done a lot of like where was good, where shall we go and try, and so we chose this place and we went. And as soon as we walked towards the door, the guy came straight to the door. He wouldn't even let us open the restaurant door. You're not coming in, and you know, I said, well, why not? He said the dog's not allowed, and I said, well, she's a guide dog. She is allowed, and he said, no, not in my restaurant. I said, well, you do know it's against the law to refuse access to a guide dog. I don't care. This is my restaurant. You're not coming in, and that was that. I was really shaken up. I was shaking, and Neil, my husband, was really angry. But getting angry about it doesn't help.
Incidents like this happen more often than you may think. But now think how daunting day-to-day tasks can be, like commuting to work, but you have to do it in complete darkness, without help.
Is there a member of staff anywhere? Hello? We had an incident at London Bridge where we were coming through the station, our normal access was closed and Prince William was coming through, so they closed everything off. And I'm calling out for help, but there was nobody. I could hear staff members around me, but nobody would come up and help me. It was only when my wife reviewed the footage of Kiko's camera did she realise there were 6-7 members of staff around me, and their excuse was they didn't see me, when it's so blatant that they're all watching me and looking at me, you know, and that really gets me.
It's not only Amit who has suffered discrimination, Kika has also been abused.
I've had people who've hit Kika with an umbrella to move her out of the way. They've hit her with bags. They've literally kicked her out of the way, you know, because they wanted to be the first to get onto the tube. And that's just, you know, that's not acceptable. Okay,
it's not just being out and about that is made difficult for Amit and Kika. Booking holidays and taxi refusals are also a massive issue.
See, I never really realised that it would be so much of a difficulty when you had a guide dog about access refusals, places you can go, but sometimes you get that odd comment, you know, or like people would say a blind person shouldn't be travelling at peak time because you're putting everybody else in danger because you can't see, you know, and you hear this and people don't realise that, yes, I'm blind, but I can still hear all this. The text message that says your taxi has now arrived, and it'll give you the name of the driver, it'll give you the registration plate, and you still stand there. You're standing there for another 5-10 minutes, and then you call up the taxi firm, and they say, oh yeah, the driver was too busy. And we've had that where my wife's been standing next to me, and the taxi has actually driven past because they've seen the dog.
Guide Dogs UK say it's all about education and awareness, with the hope that these incidents will become non-existent.